Good afternoon. The facts of the case, we leased a property at 438 Henry Drive, Graceville, to Mary Louise Smith. Her tenancy recently concluded. I went to conduct the final inspection upon her vacate, and I did notice that the property had not been cleaned. In particular, the laundry, the kitchen and the main bathroom were in a particularly unclean state, and there was also quite an amount of rubbish left in the backyard. We did approach the tenant and ask her to return to the property and attend to the cleaning and the rubbish removal. The tenant has unfortunately refused to accept that the property was left in that state by her, and as a result, we did end up having to go through the RTA conciliation process, seeking agreement from the tenant for her to attend to these issues, which she refused. We then sought a compromise whereby we were asking the tenant to pay a portion of the costs involved in a bond clean and removing the rubbish. Now, the quotes that we received were for $500 for the bond clean and $400 for the rubbish removal. Unfortunately, the tenant was not willing to contribute to that either. As a result, the RTA conciliation process was unsuccessful, and hence we've now escalated to this QCAT hearing. So in terms of supporting our claims, we do have documented evidence. We have the RTA Form 1A, the entry condition report, the Form 14A, the exit condition report. The variance between those two documents clearly indicates that the property was in a significantly less clean state than upon entry. We also have photographic evidence to accompany each of the entry report and the exit report. And that photographic evidence again clearly shows that particularly those three rooms, the kitchen, the main bathroom and the laundry, clearly shows that the difference between the entry and the exit are quite significant in terms of the level of cleanliness or uncleanliness. I've also got photos of the backyard from the entry and the exit, which show that there was no rubbish at the entry and lots of rubbish in the backyard at the exit. We do have quotes for a bond clean and rubbish removal. Those quotes are $500 for the bond clean and $400 for the rubbish removal, so a total of $900. We have the Form 18A, the tenancy agreement, which was signed in its standard form, and copies of all of the correspondence with the tenant in relation to this particular dispute. So we do believe that the tenant is in breach of the tenancy agreement, particularly in relation to Division 8, paragraph 37(1) of the standard terms, which clearly states that upon vacate, the property needs to be left in the same condition as it was upon entry, fair wear and tear accepted. Now, we believe that this is way beyond fair wear and tear, unfortunately. Now, that particular term in that particular clause in the standard terms specifically refers to the Residential Tenancies Rooming and Accommodation Act 2008, Section 188, paragraph 4, again, which states that the property must be left in the same state as or the same condition as it was in upon entry, fair wear and tear accepted. Yes, cleanliness of a property is a matter of opinion. It can be subjective. We claim that the property was not sufficiently cleaned, and we are basing that claim on the difference between the entry and the exit report and the photographic evidence that clearly shows the level of cleanliness at entry and the level of uncleanliness on exit. The matter wasn't able to be resolved at the RTA conciliation. We did again request the tenant at that conciliation process to attend to the two matters, the two issues. Again, she has blatantly refused to do that, and is very insistent that she did not leave the property in an unclean state and that she did not leave rubbish in the backyard. During the conciliation, we did offer a compromise to the tenant, given her firm stance, and in order to try and expedite the matter and have it resolved, we did offer the tenant the opportunity to contribute to the cost of the bond clean and the rubbish removal, whereby the tenant and the landlord would share or distribute the cost of that $900 in total between the two of them. Again, the tenant is standing firm on her position and was not willing to participate in any form of compromise there. So the tenant's unwillingness to cooperate has been persistent throughout this entire issue, from the moment that it was first raised after the exit inspection was conducted. The tenant did not attend the exit inspection and has maintained throughout this entire process that she did not leave the property in an unclean state and that she did not leave rubbish in the backyard. She also has refused to compromise in any way. So she's literally just holding firm on this. The outcome that the landlord is after, ideally he wants his property clean and he wants the rubbish removed so that it can be relit as soon as possible. An alternative would be for the tenant to contribute to some of the costs. So in terms of the quotes that we've received, I did seek a number of quotes for each of those pieces of work. So there's 3 quotes for the bond clean and 3 quotes for the rubbish removal, and they're all within the same ballpark. So that $500 for the clean and $400 for the bond for the rubbish removal is quite fair and reasonable, we believe. So we would be seeking, in the absence of any form of compromise from the tenant, we would be seeking for $900 to be withheld from the bond and passed to the landlord so that we can attend to the cleaning of the property and to the removal of the rubbish.